I was flipping steaks on the grill, humming to a slow blues tune, when a shrill voice scraped across the fence like nails on slate. That's the house my sister's taking." My wife dropped her drink. I dropped the tongs. Even our dog took 3 steps back. Standing there at the edge of our lawn was Clarissa Henderson, the HOA president, with a smug grin and a woman beside her dressed like she was at a Beverly Hills estate auction. Sunglasses too big for her face, white jumpsuit, and enough perfume to start a fire. "My sister, Tatiana, has decided she wants this house," Clarissa repeated, finger extended like she was making some royal decree. "You have 30 days to vacate." My brain short-circuited. I looked at my wife. She looked at me. We both laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was absurd. But Clarissa wasn't joking. She stepped forward and handed me a letter printed with fake official HOA letterhead, citing an emergency reassignment provision and a special family consideration clause. It stated that due to Tatiana's emotional recovery from divorce, our home was being transferred to her. My name wasn't even on the paper. "Are you serious?" I asked. "Absolutely," Clarissa replied, flipping her bobbed hair. "The board has approved. You're free to pack." Tatiana chimed in, scrolling her phone without making eye contact. "The kitchen needs a full gut reno." My wife moved forward to speak, but I held her arm. I nodded slowly. They had no clue. Every word they said was being captured by 6 security cameras. What they didn't know: I wasn't just some homeowner. I was an active federal civil court judge overseeing a case involving Clarissa's HOA that included fraud, illegal assessments, and overreach. "Is there a move-in date?" I asked, playing dumb. Clarissa smiled. "First week of next month. Tatiana's bringing paint samples today." Tatiana strutted into our yard taking photos of the house, muttering about replacing windows and adding a hot tub. Clarissa began lecturing us on community values and how emotional recovery is a community matter. "We already changed the database to reflect Tatiana as the pending owner," Clarissa added. "The locksmith's scheduled for Friday." "Will police be present?" I asked. "They won't be needed," she said confidently. "You'll be gone by then." I leaned against the railing and smiled. "Thanks for the heads up. Let me gather some things." Clarissa beamed. Tatiana asked if we could leave the curtains. I walked inside, straight to my home office, grabbed the HOA Henderson folder, added the security footage screenshots, and called Judge Ramirez, who had the case. "You won't believe this," I told him. He laughed when I explained. "She really thinks she can take your house with a fake HOA clause?" he asked. "She does. I'm moving the hearing up. Let's get it on the record." Back outside, Tatiana was measuring the porch for a Tesla charger. Clarissa was peeking into our garage. "I notified our insurance," I told them, smiling. "Just in case something goes missing during the transition." Clarissa looked uncertain. My wife whispered, "What are you doing?" "Letting her dig her own grave," I whispered. "I'll hand her the shovel when she shows up with the locksmith." That night, Tatiana posted a photo on Instagram with the caption, "Future Home Vibes." Clarissa commented, "HOA always has your back." I screenshot it for the file. The next morning, Clarissa returned, this time with Calvin Yates, a known fraud under HOA investigation, pretending to be an appraiser. "Routine inspection," she said. "I thought the transfer wasn't final yet," I replied. "Just preparing for renovations," Clarissa said. "Calvin is certified." I let them in. Calvin scanned the house, muttering measurements. Clarissa wrote notes: outdated lighting, poor paint scheme. My wife, tablet in hand, asked, "Can I help you?" Clarissa, "No need, dear. Just making sure Tatiana won't have surprises." "Oh, she's in for one," my wife muttered. Upstairs, Clarissa gushed over the master bedroom. "She'll knock out this wall." "Into the neighbor's property?" I asked. Clarissa smirked. "Details. We always find a way." They handed me a document to sign. It falsely claimed I agreed to vacate. "I'll have my lawyer review it," I said. Clarissa forced a smile. Calvin avoided eye contact. Once they left, I forwarded the video and document to the state licensing board and Detective Hahn with the HOA fraud unit. She replied, "You just handed me a gift-wrapped case." Later, Clarissa taped a notice to our door, "Property transfer pending. HOA reassignment underway." Neighbors whispered. One even offered to help us pack. I smiled and replied it was an HOA mix-up. What Clarissa didn't know was the case against her had just been escalated to federal court after a board member tipped off the prosecution. I met with 3 members, Monica, Ray, and Daryl, at a coffee shop. They confirmed Clarissa forged documents and invented the reassignment clause. I asked if they'd testify. Ray said, "We're done living scared." Sunday, I hosted an emergency board meeting at our house. Clarissa barged in without knocking, with Tatiana in tow. "Let's get started," she said. "We already did," I replied. "This isn't sanctioned," she snapped. "Monica, 3 board members can call a meeting." "We did." Clarissa turned red. Tatiana asked, "So when do I move in?" "Let's talk reassignment clauses," I said, sliding the fake letter across the table. Clarissa froze. "Ray, we never approved this." "Where'd you get that stamp?" "Daryl, that stamp was decommissioned." Clarissa lashed out. Screamed. Accused us of betrayal. Dragged Tatiana out with her. We passed a resolution suspending Clarissa's authority and filed for a full audit. That night, she showed up on our porch crying, alone, broken. I didn't go outside. A week later, she called an emergency meeting. The agenda legitimizing the fake reassignment. We met again with cameras rolling. By then, evidence piled high, forged records, embezzled funds, unauthorized fines. One day, a package arrived anonymously. Invoices, receipts, spreadsheets. Clarissa had billed the HOA for personal expenses, even landscaping her sister's home. I sent it all to Prosecutor Lana Miles. Her reply, "This is enough for felony charges." Auditors raided the HOA office. Clarissa showed up, screaming about conspiracies. They handed her a warrant. She tore it and they handed her another. Her meltdown went viral. That night, Officer Riggs informed me Clarissa filed a harassment claim using the forged letter as proof. It backfired spectacularly. Days later, Tatiana tried to change the locks. I confronted her calmly, recording everything. The locksmith fled. She yelled, "This isn't over." "You're right," I replied. "Next time, bring a real lawyer." Clarissa's house was posted for lien and seizure. Her empire crumbled. Residents waved now. Reggie ran for HOA president. Monica's daughter slept peacefully again. The chat group joked, the witch melted. On election day, Monica won unanimously. New rules. Transparency, audits, term limits. Later, my wife and I sipped wine on the porch. "Think she'll show her face again?" she asked. "Not here," I said. She burned every bridge. Beneath Clarissa's old fake sign claiming the house for Tatiana, I hung a new one. Evicted by karma. Authorized by the court. No HOA approval required. Justice doesn't always scream. Sometimes it arrives quietly, disguised as patience, backed by law, and armed with receipts. Clarissa came for my house. All she did was hand me the blueprint for her own downfall.